Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Tammy Abraham's Thierry Henry admission, showing why Arsenal have a big £40 million transfer decision to make, and then we're going to look at Liverpool's work on Houssem Aouar transfer comes to light as Arsenal face missing out. So the first transfer headline states that Tammy Abraham's Thierry Henry admission shows why Arsenal have a big £40 million decision to make. So the reports are stating that Tammy Abraham looks surplus to requirements at Chelsea and has been linked with a move across the capital to Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham has been touted with a move to Arsenal this summer in a deal worth £40 million. The Englishman has always been considered a goal threat and has even produced considerable numbers over the course of his short career. But for one reason or another, it simply hasn't worked for him under the new Blues boss Thomas Tuchel. After falling behind in the pecking order to Timo Werner, Olivier Giroud and Kai Havertz, Tammy Abraham was left with limited opportunities towards the end of last season. Even though Giroud has since moved on to AC Milan for £2 million, Thomas Tuchel is looking to add another striker to his ranks, and Borussia Dortmund star Erling Haaland is his number one target. That pretty much means Tammy Abraham is out of the Chelsea picture. Thus a move away is probably what's best for his career. A fee of £40 million might seem a little steep for Arsenal's liking, but as he is a boyhood fan of the club, and because he's previously highlighted his lofty ambitions of getting to the same level as Thierry Henry in his career, perhaps the move is one worth pursuing. To be honest, I was an Arsenal fan, Tammy Abraham said back in 2017, as per Eurosport. When you're young and you choose who to support, it's a family thing, it's a family thing. Luckily for me, it was a family thing, so it wasn't really a problem at Chelsea. Someone I look up to was Thierry Henry, his variations of finishing, his movement, the way he dribbles. Someone like that has a key impact on me. I would love to be as big as him and maybe even better. He may not be on the level as Arsenal's king once was, but Tammy Abraham doesn't lack ability, not by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, his omission from Thomas Tuchel's squad could even be seen as a bit harsh, especially when you consider his career goal-scoring record. He's netted 30 times in 82 appearances for the Blues, which admittedly is hardly prolific, but it's certainly not diminishable either. Meanwhile, he scored 26 goals in 48 games for Bristol City and led Aston Villa's promotion charge in 2018-2019, scoring another 26 goals in 8 less matches that season. With that in mind, Tammy Abraham also offers something to this current Gunners attack. He might not be as good as on the ball as, say, Alexandre Lacazette, but his height, heading ability and athleticism will help Mikel Arteta's side, especially if Arsenal's boss persists on launching crosses into the box as he did last season. And to add to that, the 23-year-old is a homegrown talent who still has a lot of time to improve. It's definitely a risk, but perhaps one worth taking. And if Tammy Abraham turns out to be half as good as his boyhood hero Thierry Henry, then Arsenal can say it's money well spent. So this nicely takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Liverpool's work on Houssem Aouar transfer comes to light as Arsenal face missing out. So the reports are stating that Liverpool and Arsenal have both been linked with Houssem Aouar so far this transfer window. Liverpool have been keeping an eye on Houssem Aouar for a while, it has been claimed. The Lyon star could leave the club this summer, and while Arsenal have long had interest in the playmaker, a move to Anfield could beckon interest. Liverpool have had a quiet transfer window so far. With funds limited in the wake of the coronavirus crisis, no more key signings are expected this summer. However, one player being linked with the move to Anfield is Houssem Aouar, who could leave Lyon for a new challenge elsewhere. The France international appeared to set to join Arsenal 12 months ago, only for the Gunners to settle for the arrival of Thomas Partey instead. With Arsenal's interest cooling amid links to James Maddison, Liverpool have emerged as potential suitors for the 23-year-old. And journalist Pete O'Rourke, speaking of the Football Terrorist podcast, has claimed Liverpool have admired Houssem Aouar for a while, and are eyeing him as a cheaper alternative to Yuri Tielemans, Saul Niguez and Renato Sanchez. It's an interesting development, this one, he said. I think at the start of the summer people were expecting Houssem Aouar to make the move to Arsenal. They tried to sign him last year but couldn't agree a fee with Lyon, and he ended up staying there, much to his disappointment, because I think he had his heart set on a move to the Premier League and to Arsenal. But now Liverpool have come into the reckoning for the French international, and it's an interesting one, because we know Liverpool are in the market for a midfield reinforcement to replace Gini Wijnaldum. Houssem Aouar, who is probably somebody who is available on the market, not for a massive price tag either when you think about it, like Yuri Tielemans, Sao Niguez, Renato Sanchez, so Houssem Aouar would be a cheaper alternative. And on his day, he's a proven player. Liverpool have been keeping an eye on him for a while. He's got real potential to be a success in the Premier League. Liverpool's need for Houssem Aouar is arguably greater than Arsenal's, and with the Gunners chasing James Maddison, a move to Anfield is now looking increasingly likely as a result. Speaking in May, Houssem Aouar admitted he could leave Lyon behind when speaking before the final match of the league season. This could be my last match at Lyon, but it could also not be. I did not ask myself these sorts of questions before an important match like this, he said via Get French Football News. I have not played as much as I would have liked. I struggled to come back after COVID, a pretty mixed season for me. I have improved in terms of managing injuries. I am happy with my statistics in the few matches that I have done. So a mixed season. I feel good. I am 100% for this match. Speaking in October, Houssem Aouar insisted he made the right decision to stay at Lyon and amid interest from Arsenal. Of course, I asked all the necessary questions, said the midfielder. I am in the headspace to have a great season with my club and recover the points that we have lost. So, of course, we are going to try to have the best season and try to put the team and the club back in its rightful place at the top of France. On whether he was disappointed, he added, I am the opposite. I am at home in the club that I love with my friends and my family. So this transfer saga with Liverpool and Houssem Aouar and Arsenal does look very interesting. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup poster using the special link I have put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 30 likes. Also subscribe for more daily videos and share the video with your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the latest videos on the screen and I'll see you there.